Hi everybody, I'm Joey with Create with Joey, and today I have a really fun card class for you. This is my weekly class to go, and I'm going to use a stamp set called Textured Floral, and we're going to make 3 cards with the same stamp set, and we're going to start simple and then we're going to step it up a little bit and then we're going to step it up even more. So I hope this will be helpful to you, whether you're a beginning stamper or someone who just happened onto this video and you took an interest in it, or whether you're an experienced stamper and you might need some fast, easy cards. So when you come on, let's say hi, let me know where you're from. I'd love for you to share the video. I'd love for you to comment, whether you're watching live or replay. If you're watching on Facebook and you haven't liked or followed my page, I would encourage you to do that so you don't miss anything in the future. And if you're watching on YouTube, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, my friends, I have to do a little bit of technical work here. I have to get you pulled up on my iPad so I can see what you're seeing. I have to get close to the computer to do that, and it's already, I had it on my page and it's already bleeped off of that. So let's try this again. There we go. Let me see if I can see what you're seeing. How is everybody today? I hope everybody's doing well. We have a cloudy day in Lincoln, Nebraska. We've had rain almost every day for a week or longer, and then it does usually clear up, which has been nice, perfect for July. So, okay, so I can see myself here, and then I'm going to bring up my, I also have my laptop here, and that's where I see your comments because they don't stay on my iPad, and once I turn my phone down, I can't see it. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. That's so sweet. I'm getting there. I'm just about there. There we go. Ah, now I can see your comments. So hi, Kate and Jackie and Diane. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Julie, Maggie, Christy. Yay, good, okay. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me turn my camera down. I have to click a tool here, and I'll go upside down, but you'll be right side up. So here we go. It usually takes a few minutes for Facebook to kind of show you what, or show me what you're seeing. So it takes, let me move this. It takes a minute to get things squared away. Hopefully that's pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. We're going to go with that. We'll see if that's going to work. I think it will. Okay, so the big news today, my friends, is there's a sale. So it's just today, and it's on every stamp in the annual catalog. So every single stamp. Now, not the bundles, but the stamps. So, and not the online stamps, but every single stamp in this catalog is 15% off today, and it's just today. And if you shop with this host code and you put in an order for $35 or more, you're going to get this class that you're going to see today free from me in the mail. I'll send it to you. You'll get 6 cards for your $35 order. If you put in a $50 order, you'll also get a pack of embellishments. Okay, so that's that. Then I want to also invite you to subscribe to my YouTube, or sorry, to my email list, because this week I'm going to send this tutorial, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Right now I'm going to put the link in for you to subscribe to my newsletter and my free tutorials. If you're on YouTube, this will be in the, sorry, I can't find a place to put this in, dang it. Let me finish my sentence. Well, I lost my train of thought, so sorry. And now I'm not seeing your comments because my computer is not caught up. I'm getting a new computer. I actually have my new computer, but we don't have it installed yet because we have to go to the Apple store. So hopefully we won't keep having this happen, because I can't see your comments, so I can't put in a comment. I don't even think, maybe I can. Let's see here. Nope, it won't bring me to the page where I can put in a comment. So when I'm done with the Facebook Live, I'll put in the link to join my newsletter. Let me see if I can do it in the, I was looking to see if I could do it in the title of the video, but I can't. So I will put it in the description of the video on Facebook, and I will put it in the comments in Facebook. So I'm sorry, you kind of have to, you're going to have to hunt for it. But this will be my tutorial this week. So here's what happened. I wasn't sure. I knew this was coming back into stock on the 24th. So I actually prepared 3 cards to do today if it stayed in stock. But, and the stamps are in stock, so you can still buy them. I just checked before the video today. So these are my 3 cards I did with this that I was going to do for Facebook Live. That's kind of a hot mess. Let's get rid of that. But I don't want to show something that isn't available, and the punch isn't available, but the stamp set still is. So, and this truck is easy to cut around. I'm encouraging you to go ahead and buy the stamp set, even if the punch isn't available, because it isn't coming into October. So that's a bit of a wait, but this truck is really easy to cut around with scissors, and all the little things you put in the back of the truck are also not hard to cut around. I did that anyway for these 3 because the punch doesn't fit those things. So I thought, well, at least what I'll do is send this one to my newsletter subscribers. This is just I'm going to pull this up a little bit so you can see. This is just the largest die from the Countryside Borders dies. It's the largest one, and I scored it from corner to corner. That's kind of hard to show in my written tutorial. I am writing out the tutorial today to send it, but I just wanted to show you that you score it there and then you adhere it to the inside of the card. So it's not on the outside, it's the inside. So that just gives you a little bit of heads up on this particular card, because I had intended to show that. And then this little flower holds it closed like so. So that's coming this week. If you're interested in that, make sure you're on my newsletter list. Then, what else? So then my class that I'm showing you today is the Texture Floral class to go, and I've got that tutorial done. So this is what my tutorials look like. You get photos, a close-up photo, all the list of supplies, and all the detailed directions and measurements. So you don't have to be guessing what the measurements are. So that's this tutorial. Then I'm also running a special that I'm giving away a set of these dies sometime at the end of July. Every order that's $35 or more gets a ladybug. I don't have some of these filled in yet, but when my orders come in, I write it on this sheet and then I stamp the ladybugs later. But if you're interested in getting these sets of dies, I use these quite a bit. They are called the Radiating Stitches dies, and that's my gift for the drawing. So you get a ticket in the drawing for your orders this month. And there's one more thing. Well, that's the ladybug. We just talked about that. That's it for all that stuff. One more little bit here. Hi, Pam, coming on. All right, good. People are coming. That's perfect. This is coming up. This has not been out. I haven't published this either in my email or on my Facebook page. But I'm starting my Christmas Stampin' Stack. So the first one I'm going to start with is Regal Reindeer. And this is an annual catalog. And I'm using the paper that is online exclusive. Now that is out right now, but it's supposed to come in. Oh, I said wrong about the trucking bundle. That was supposed to come in this past Tuesday, not the 24th. This paper is what's coming in on the 24th. So for my Stampin' Stacks, you're going to make either 8 or 12. I haven't decided. If I make 8, I can charge less. If you make 12, it's going to cost, it's going to cost more. Cardstock has just gone up quite a bit. But you can to put in the comments, this is not in any way a formal survey or for me to bug you if you want to take the class, but if you in general for Stamp-A-Stacks would rather only make 8 or you'd rather make 12 and pay a little more, I would be interested in knowing that, because some of you are people that do buy my classes. A lot of you are demonstrators even that buy my classes. So I'm curious to know if you would rather do 8 or 12. Now this stamp set, the Regal Reindeer, it is on sale. So it's on sale today for 25% off. Now I always offer, let's look that up. I always offer my customers the whatever stamp set and dies I'm using for retail price without tax and shipping on it. But it's not going to be, that's not 15% off, which they are today, page 42. So these stamps, these are on sale, and the fonts are beautiful. I love Peace on Earth and Merry Christmas, even just those two, but it has the reindeer and the little bunny and little girl, a little place to put snow and snowflakes and beautiful trees. So I'm excited about this. I have fun making the cards. But I would like to know, okay, girls, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's watching, I can't see your comments. I'm going to do one swipe. My computer's just not keeping up. So I'm going to try and reboot it, but I'm sorry. If I don't answer you, I will definitely come back and answer you. Let me do a couple of swipes here and see if I can get your comments to come up on my iPad. And no, they're not. Okay, I'm just going to assume you can still see me and hear me, and we're just going to go forward a little bit. I'm going to move the phone just a touch. A little too much there, and come back just a little. Whoops. Okay, sorry. Let's get going with our stamping today. Get this show on the road. Let's go back just a touch more. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, I have been wanting to do this, what we're going to do today, for a long time. And that is to take a stamp set and start with an easy card that doesn't require a die cutting machine or any kind of equipment. It's just stamps, paper, and ink. So we're going to do that with the textured floral stamp set, because this stamp set is so easy to just stamp and be done. You don't really have to do any die cutting. If you are interested in this bundle, there are beautiful dies, and we are going to use those for the last card that we make today. But I want to make cards that I would have made when I first started stamping. We're going to step it up so you can see other things that you can do with this bundle. But I just wanted to start where I started. And so, because I think sometimes we get so carried away with all the bells and whistles that we forget that the most joy comes from actually just stamping. So when you get this card kit, so this is this week's card class, you'll get 2 of everything I'm going to show you. So you get the, you'll get 2 card bases for this card. You'll get 2 pieces of basic white. This is for the inside of the card. You'll get 2 Fleur de Flamingo. This is to border our white piece. 2 of these. And then that, and then 2 envelopes. So you get 2 of everything I'm going to show you today. All right, let's go ahead. We'll just go ahead and get this card base started. I'm so sorry. I hate that I can't see your comments, and I don't know why they won't even come up on my iPad. So it's not, I'm swiping, but nothing's coming up. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, and hopefully I'm live and you can see me. I still see the live button, but I can't see anybody's comments today. So I promise I will come back and answer every comment. So please go ahead and say hi, even if you feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I just can't see your comments. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to shut down my computer. And then I'm going to reboot my browser and see if there's any chance I can get it to reboot. Let's give that a try. Sorry for the delay, everybody. see if we can get this going. I just want to make sure you can see me. Okay, so there I am. And now I can see some comments, although they stopped coming. So that's okay. Keep commenting. You probably thought, well, she can't see them anyway, but now it looks like I can. Well, no, I just went blank again. Okay, it's good to get my new computer. It's coming. I have it. Actually, I just have to get it installed. We have to go to Omaha. Okay, here we go. Oh, my fingernail. Oh, I matched it, Pam. Thank you. So you can see me. Well, I didn't exactly match it, but I did know I was going to use these colors today, so I went with kind of a orangey red. All right, my friends, let's get stamping. I'm going to go ahead and get out my piercing mat here, and I'm going to we're going to start with Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper to stamp off so you don't actually have to keep looking at this mess on my my grid paper. Here, let's set this aside for a moment until we're ready for those. And then let's go ahead and ink up our stamp in Flirty Flamingo. And I have to look at this once to see if I did stamp off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did stamp off. So we're gonna stamp once, and then, nope. We have to start with the leaves on this card. On one of them, we start with a flower, but this one starts with the leaves. So let me backtrack, and we're going to Pretty Peacock. And let's try this again. So this is one of the leaf stamps. There are two. We'll use the second one on the second card we're going to do today. I'm stamping off. And then I'm going to stamp this in this lower left corner. Hope you can see me. And I'm going to go off the cardstock just a little bit and stamp it. And then I'm going to turn it to go in between these spaces here without re-inking it, and then stamp it again like this. So that kind of gives you this little basis for the flower to sit in. So we're going to start with that. Then now we're going to go back to the flower that we had going a while ago. And I've let that sit for a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and re-ink it. I'm sorry, you guys, my computer is just not keeping up with your comments, so I'll come back. This is Flirty Flamingo stamped off once, and then we're just going to kind of nestle this into our leaves right here, like so. Probably should have kept my mat out. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, kept my mat out just to get a really good image. There you go. Honestly, I think this is pretty just like that, but we're going to go ahead and do some more to this. So when I first started stamping, I've told you this if you've watched me before, I just wanted to stamp. I didn't want to cut layers. Punches were kind of a big deal. I did enjoy using punches when they came out, but I've been stamping a long time. So I've been stamping over 20 years. A long time. Now I'm going to take Daffodil Delight. There's a second flower. It's a medium-sized one. Not Daffodil Delight. This is Lemon Lolly. Sorry. Lemon Lolly. And again, I don't remember where I stamped it off. I think I did. So we're going to do Lemon Lolly here. And I don't really think this probably is meant to go in the middle of this big flower, but I kind of wanted to fill in that white with something. And I like the way the yellow looks. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, so that's that. Then, this is kind of unexpected. By the way, I got this color combination off of the page in the book where this bundle is. So I'm using, for the most part, Stampin' Up's color combination. Okay, so now we have the little stamen. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to stamp that off, and then I'm going to stamp that in the middle of my flower. So that's our flower. Then we're going to put that aside. We don't need this anymore. Get this rid of this. Let's go ahead. This piece is 3 by 4 1/4, this basic white piece. And the Calypso Coral is 1/8 plus 1/16 bigger than that. So it would be, I call the 16th a plus. So it's 3 1/8 plus, so it's 3 1/8 plus the 16th by 4 and 4 3/8 plus, okay? 4 3/8 plus 1/16. That's the measurement for this. Now we're gonna go ahead and put that on our card. You know, I always did, and I still do. I don't know why I said like I always did, like I don't do it anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the flower again on the inside. We're gonna start with the leaves. But this stamp set, I really just love that artwork on this stamp set. Now you can get this stamp set on sale if you're not buying the bundle. But if you're not interested in the dies, then you can get the stamp set itself for 15% off. But if you want the dies, if you have a die cutting machine and you want the dies, then you should take the bundle price. Don't buy the stamp set separately from the dies, because you'll get a better price with the bundle. Alrighty, then we're going to take our flower. I'm going to stamp it up out of the camera just to get on with it, and then we have it there. It's kind of big for the inside, so you might, if you want to write a lot, you might not want to do this big of a flower. And then I'm going to just quick, but you can make a lot of these cards in a short amount of time. Going to stamp it. I'm stamping off outside of the camera just to not be moving so much stuff around, and then pretty peacock. But this shows you basically again the way I stamp this flower and the color combinations. A lot of times for me, oops, I dropped the stamp. A lot of times for me, color combination is where I start with designing. Okay, so now on the outside of this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pop up this flower with dimensionals. I don't remember if we had dimensionals. I don't think we had dimensionals 20 years ago. Those of you who have been stamping for 20 years or longer, do you remember? I don't think we did. Okay, saying yes. So one more comment came in. I don't know how long ago that was, Kay, but it came in. So again, I'll come back and read your comments. So if you think we had dimensionals 20 years ago, if you were stamping 20 years ago, let me know. I don't think we did. Pretty sure we didn't. I know I used double-sided tape when I first started stamping. That's what I used. Okay, and it looks like I didn't prepare a greeting panel, so I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock and my paper trimmer, and we're going to cut a strip. I'll try to stay in the camera. We'll see if that's going to stay in the camera. This is 3/8 by, it doesn't really matter the length. A little skinnier than 3/8. I think that's right though. We'll see if I can stamp this narrow greeting. Let's go ahead and grab our Flirty Flamingo back. Pam, what color did I use for the statement on the first card? Pam, this is here. It's Cajun Craze for both of those. What am I doing? Oh, this is my sample. Gosh, for a minute I thought, am I getting my second card mixed up with my first card? But this is Flirty Flamingo. Okay, so now we're going to just stamp. I might be getting my head in the camera. Okay, with the Grateful Heart, I can always use thank you cards. That's probably the most cards I send are thank you cards, and the next would be birthday cards. How about you? What do you send the most of? I hope you don't say sympathy. Okay, with a Grateful Heart, then we're gonna do this. I'd be curious to know when we first started using dimensionals, because at this point in my stamping career, we have used them for so long, right? We've had them for a long time. But I don't have any idea when we started. Whoops. when we started with dimensionals. But I would have used dimensionals when I first started stamping. What I would not have done is had a lot of tools because I couldn't afford it. I was trying to just buy stamps, ink, and paper. So this is a card you can make with stamps, ink, and paper, and dimensionals. No bling, just beautiful colors and stamping. So what do you think of this card? I like the colors together too, Pam. I think they're really pretty together. Okay, while you're letting me know what you think about stamps, ink, and paper, I'm curious to know too if you stamp cards that are just stamps, ink, and paper. Does anybody do that still? Or do you, for the most part, sorry, I'm looking at my comments. Or for the most part, do you always use punches or dies? So let me know in the comments what you like to do. But this is stamps, ink, and paper. Now, I would make this card, but I would bling it up. But when I first started stamping, I wouldn't have. First of all, I don't even know if we had embellishments. I don't remember. I don't think we did. And then second of all, I didn't want to fuss with it. I wanted to just stamp because I just loved stamping. That was great. Okay, so Pam says Christmas cards are the ones she sends the most. Jackie likes the colors. I like the colors too. Maggie sends birthday cards almost every day. That's so nice. Okay, that's that one. Now we're going to step it up just a little bit. Now here, you guys might laugh about this. So again, you're going to get all the products to make 2 cards of each of the ones that I'm going to show you today, if you put in an order of $35 or more. So we're going to start, since we're using the same basic idea of that card, we're going to start with this basic same ingredients. So your peacock cardstock, your flirty flamingo border, and your matte, and then your main piece. This time I did add a die cut circle. So if you even have a circle punch, you can make this card. So sometimes, a lot of times before we buy die cutting machines, we have punches, and usually circles are the first ones we get. So let's get out of this card. Maggie, you do like something simple and quick. You know, I was talking to my husband Steve last night, and I said something similar as to, you know, if I really want to explore all that, if I really want to explore all the possibilities of a stamp set and dies, I'll do a lot with it. You know, like the truck ones, I did quite a bit, quite a few layers and things with those that I showed you. Whoops, I got ink in my finger. But especially if I'm in a hurry, like if he says we're going down for, you know, a Hartman birthday celebration, and I don't have the kind of card I want for some whatever reason, then let me look for my stamps, and then I'll finish my sentence. Here we go. So then I'll need something quick, and, you know, maybe 15 minutes is all I give myself. So we're going to start the same. We're going to stamp off our pretty peacock. What I started to say about, I think you guys might laugh at this, is so for my second card, I kind of started it the same way a little bit, but I put the leaves down farther. But what I was going to start to say is that this was a scrap on my desk. So here's the card. This was my practice sheet for colors. So can you see how there's really no plan to this? There's just stamping. But as it was laying there, I thought, well, I would have made that card when I first started stamping, because I just wanted to stamp. So I would have made a card with a lot of colors. So I decided that would be our stepped up version. So I'm going to try and copy this card that was actually just scrap paper. So I'm going to stamp off my flower. We're going to make our flower the same as we did before. And so we're going to start again with our flirty flamingo after our pretty peacock leaves. Then I'm going to grab the lemon lolly. I'm going to stamp that off once and stamp that in the middle. So I started the same because I I liked what was happening there. And now I kind of went, I did the stamen again the same. So this is Cajun Craze. And this is stamped off once. And then we're in the center of our beautiful, whoops, our beautiful flower. That was close. Try not to drop your stamps on your card because they still have ink on them. Just a word to the wise. Anybody ever done that? Okay, now I switched this up, and at first I thought this was horrible, but after I looked at my card, I thought, no, I think it would okay. I'm going to show you what we did. So I thought we needed a brighter green. So I tried garden green, and so I went in this corner to add a different greenery, and I added garden green, and then I thought, I think we needed at least twice. So I went over here and added it back in. So after I first did that, I thought, I don't think I really like that. But on the other hand, after I let it sit for a while and worked on the wow card, I went, I think that actually is okay. It's kind of pretty. And it goes to show that you can just stamp a lot of different things and you can have a beautiful card, even if you don't have a real solid plan going into it. Okay, so now I'm going to take, let's see what stamp I use. Okay, so I stamped, there's 3 flower sizes, and I took the smallest one now with Lemon Lolly. So let me get out my Lemon Lolly. Actually, no, we're going to do a different thing first. We're going to go to this stem. So this is this right here. So I'm going to stamp that. I started with that one in Pretty Peacock, and then I switched. I guess both in Pretty Peacock, and I changed the colors of the flowers. So again, I was just experimenting. So I stamped it off, and then we're going to stamp this kind of going up the side of our card. Maybe like so. And then again, this was not planned out. So I was just trying colors, and then I'm going to go over here. Let's see, it's going to be pretty high, a little lower here. Okay, now those are the branches for what we're going to do with our flowers. So we have both Lemon Lolly flowers and Fresh Freesia. I was trying in the worst way to get Fresh Freesia on this card. I just thought it would be really pretty. So I grabbed the flowers in Fresh Freesia. We're going to do those first. Now this is a little bit tricky to line up, so I'm going to stand up. You know, I think what I did initially was I'm turning these flowers until they look like they match up with the stem. I think that's pretty good. Pretty should have stamped off my Fresh Freesia, but I got the flowers somewhat lined up. So I wish I would have stamped them off, because I know in this one I did stamp them off, but now you can see what it would be if you didn't stamp them off, because maybe you would like the Fresh Freesia flowers to be darker, because it does kind of balance out the depth of the green at the bottom. So maybe that's okay. We'll see, because again, this card was a complete experiment. This is my scrap paper, and I'm just redoing it. So I'm gonna try to line these up again. I think when I die cut these, and we'll try it that way when we go to the last flower, I stamped the flowers first, and then I lined up the stem, and I think that worked better. Okay, that also should have been stamped off, but we're just gonna go with it. We'll see. Maybe this card really is going to be a hot mess and won't turn out to be the accidental beauty that the other one did. Okay, so we're stamping this off, and then I'm going to put a little flower here. I'm just going to start. Actually, it doesn't show if you stamp it off, so never mind. We're not going to stamp it off. I'm going to put another flower here. 2 of those. And I think we're going to leave that, because that's what I did on my practice one. And then I went to this little stamp in Calypso, or Flirty Flamingo. I keep thinking I used Calypso Coral, but I did not. So this is Flirty Flamingo. And then I'm going to see, did I stamp it off? Yeah, I think I did. So we'll stamp it off once. This is, again, I didn't even know what these stamps did. So I was trying to just see what they did, but that's what that one does. It makes another layer of petals on the inner part of the flower. And then, so I left that. Actually, I did a lot of samples of this. So I think I brought in on one of my other samples, which we're going to go ahead and try that. I added a little bit of fresh freesia to the very center of the flower to kind of match up with that guy. And it doesn't show if you don't do full strength, so I'm going to do full strength. Okay? I don't know if that's that great with those two colors, but we're just playing today. We're going to go with it. Now, I did also in my sample, again, I was just playing, so I took that same small flower stamp and I stamped it in fresh freesia, stamped off once, and I kind of made it fill up here a little bit right there. So you can see it just a little bit there. And then, are you thinking this is a hot mess, or what are you thinking? Okay, you can say it's a hot mess. You won't hurt my feelings because I thought it was a hot mess yesterday. Then I took Bubble Bath. Again, I was just trying colors together. We'll get rid of this eventually. And so I didn't plan this out. What you're seeing is my unplanned practice sheet, which I've already told you. Okay, so that doesn't show up very much if you stamp it off. So this is bubble gum and bubble bath. I always call it bubble bath, and I only had one. Okay, so we're just gonna do the same way I did it yesterday when I was just experimenting. Okay, then let's go with my final stamp. I really love splatter stamps, so I did want to use this splatter stamp, and I used that in Bubble Bath too. So let me pull that out, and can't remember. If you stamp this one off, you really can't see it. So I kind of came in here and did a little splatter, and then I kind of just went on the top of all this. There's some kind of a white space there with a splatter. Then I'm going to come up here. All I did is kind of try to fill in these white spaces a little bit, like so. And then maybe like so. Okay, so there, that's what we have so far. Don't really like this. I wish I wouldn't have done that, but we did it, so we're going to go with it. Okay, so that was my practice sheet. You can see what I did yesterday and then see what we did today. And see, on this one, I didn't do that inner flower, but so I'm not sure whether that's great or not great. Let's go ahead and stamp the greeting on this die cut piece, and then our card is just about done. Another pretty fast and easy card. If you really like stamping and stamping with a lot of colors, I did write this out just as I stamped it on my tutorial that you'll get with your order to make these cards. So I put all the colors I used, and so you can decide if you want to do it the way I did it or not. And you know, if you don't have this stamp set, this is going to work for any stamp set that has like flowers and leaves that you can stamp independently. You know, that will work together well without die cutting or punching anything. So birthday balloons for you. And then let's go ahead and finish this. We're going to mount it the same way that we did the first one, so we can see the stepped up version. Now, the first card would be the one that I would make if I was in a hurry to get down to my family or friends event and I didn't have an appropriate card. I would make the first one. If I had a little more time to play around, I'd probably make this one. And if I had a lot of time to sit and just play, I would make the third one that we're going to make in a minute. Okay, so we usually need, I always put a piece of white on the inside. We're not going to stamp this one today, but you could stamp it like I did the other one, or you could, let's just grab, we could do something we did on the front. So we could grab those yellow flowers and just stamp a couple yellow flowers, the medium-sized ones. Oh, can't see it. I forgot you can't stamp this one off. Okay, so that's not the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, but this was our card where we just stamped, and then decided, oh, it's okay. We can use that for a sample of our second card. Okay, I stepped this one, stepped it up, didn't step it. I popped it up as well. I wish I could see your comments, you guys. I'll come back. Oh, you like the color? So the comments just came up. So Pam says when she started years ago, it was very simple. She didn't know anything about layering, bling, or dimensionals. Nope, me too. Exactly the same. And if you watched me before, I've said I didn't even have a paper trimmer when I started. I went to the office store and I bought cards and envelopes that were already cut and packed together. Now we'll put this one in. Okay, so if you put in an order at $50 or more, you'll also get a pack of embellishments. Now the ones I'm using on this they're no longer an online store, but you'll get a whole new pack, of course, with your order. But this is, these are the adhesive back seasonal sequins. I bought a lot of these because they were my favorite embellishment with the last holiday catalog. And I used them on this card because of this color. And I thought it really went well. So I have a lot to give away with your packs of your cards. So you'll get a whole pack of these. We might cover up that purple. Let's just cover up that purple because it doesn't look that good. And then we'll put one of these bigger ones maybe here. And then you get your little bling on that one. So we stepped this one up with more colors and a die cut circle that could be punched and a little bit of bling on this one. So this is card number 2. So let's see if I can, you like the colors, Pam? Maggie said, love this card, simple. She does a lot of stamping and wants it to be quick because she sends birthday cards every day. That's commendable. Maggie, that is wonderful. I don't do that. So here we go from step 1. Here's simple stamps, ink, and paper. That's it. Number 2, we did more colors of ink, a few more stamps in the bundle, and one die cut greeting and a little bit of bling. So those are our first 2. So now let's get to the ones that use more of all the stuff. So again, in your pack, you'll get 2 card bases, 2 pieces of white. So you'll have enough for 6 cards. Now this one I already die cut, the eucalyptus, so that was ready to go. And I've got what else? You'll have the greeting strip. And then the white piece, this time I embossed it in it's kind of a crosshatch embossing folder. It's in the group of Basics 3D embossing folders. So let's go ahead and make this one. And I'll show you how I changed this one. To save time, I'm not going to stamp on the inside, but all these stamps would look pretty on the inside because they're all quick and easy with flowers, etc. So now this one, I made a turn. I turned this to the right like this at an angle to give it a little bit more interest, but it's the same size. So it's that 3 1/8 plus a 1/16. And then our embossed piece is 3 inches by 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and, I don't think I'm going to put dimensionals actually, now that I think about that, because I'm popping up the flower and the leaves and all that stuff. So we're just going to tape this flat. But we're going to make this one straight up and down. So this one is our off center, and then not off, yeah, I guess off center. And then this one is our on straight. So I'm trying to look up here and be straight across, and down here the same. So hopefully that's close. All right, now let's do some stamping and die cutting. We'll set all this aside. We need to stamp quite a few things here. So let's actually start with that yellow bunch of flowers that I told you. I think to line it up more easily, and I'm sorry it's yellow, that's probably going to be hard to see, but it's not going to be stamped off. So I think I started with the yellow flowers. Can you see that at all? I'm turning, oh, you can see it a little bit. And then I went to the leaves in Pretty Peacock. Not the leaves, the stem. The stems, plural, I guess. Just looking for my stamp. That, how can it disappear? But it does. Looking, there's this one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this off on scrap paper. Let's bring back our scrap paper. Okay, so stamp off. And then yeah, it's a little bit easier, which I don't know if you can see this, but it is a little bit easier to line these flowers up with the stems. See, that's not too bad. That's lined up actually pretty well. So some two-step stamps are easier. Oh, let's keep this out. Are easier to stamp the filler part first and then the outline second. And some are easier to do the outline. I would call this stem an outline. We need this yet, so let's keep that out. So sometimes you have to just experiment on your scrap paper and see what's better. Okay, we're going to stamp off the leaves, and then we're pretty close here. Let's get another piece of paper so we don't lose part of the image. So there's our leaves. Then our flower, again, we're going to repeat what we did before. So we're going to start with Calypso Coral. Not, dang, I said it again. This is Flirty Flamingo. It's not Calypso Coral. Okay? And then we're going to stamp this on here. Then we're going to take our Lemon Lolly. And for the flower, we are going to stamp off the Lemon Lolly. And then stamp it on the middle of our flower. That's the second largest flower. And then we're going to take our stamen again and go back to Cajun Craze. I was so amazed that the concept artist at Stampin' Up! Used Cajun Craze for this. I'm like, that doesn't go with all these soft pastel colors, and yet look how pretty it's so pretty. Just, you know, that's why they get the big bucks for designing for Stampin' Up! And, you know, I'm home making cards with what they design. All right, I think this is all. Now let's get our die cutting machine. Let's go ahead and die cut these. So, you know, that we all, I think if we've been stamping a while, we all, let's find my dies. We all, once in a while, like a really stepped up card. But sometimes it's not practical. Or if you're just beginning stamping, you probably, here, I lost my other seat. There we go, my other piece. If you're just beginning stamping, you want to just stamp, because that's the joy in it, and it's relaxing. I started stamping because I had a very stressful job. Let me grab some. This is Post-it tape. I just got this on Amazon, and it's going to hold these in place. But I had a very stressful job. I was teaching choral music at a high school, a very large high school, and I had 4 select choirs. And while I loved it, they were out performing all the time. And You know, December, it wasn't unusual to have 30 or more performances. So I found a lot of relaxation in stamping. I stamped on the weekends. Sometimes I stamp at night. Usually I was too tired. But I definitely wasn't cutting a lot of layers. I went to a friend's house. Everything I owned fit in a small basket from Target or somewhere like that. And I carried it with me every week to school, one day a week, and I would go to my friend's house and we would stamp our cards. I'd stamp all my birthday cards for the month. I'd stamp any anniversary cards, or if there was a baby, you know, coming, or already a new baby, I would stamp cards for that. So I even had folders that said September, you know, for the month. So September through December, I had folders for each one. Here, before I do that, let's go ahead and stamp this, or die cut this guy. So I had folders for every month, and I had those cards. I had a list of whose birthdays it was. I was very organized with this. I had a list of whose birthdays it was in that folder, so I knew who was getting cards that month. So that's the beginning of my story of stamping. And then, you know, when Stampin' Up! Started to sell punches, having trouble getting this lined up, I was all over the punches. So we used to have a small square punch, and this is a little bit harder to line up to get everything to fit. I had a small square punch and then a little bit bigger square punch, and I had a circle punch and a little bit bigger circle punch. Those were my punches. So that was my first venture into any kind of equipment. But, you know, things change and you grow and you get excited about new products. And, you know, die cutting was a revolution, honestly, to stamping. And it has changed our world. The only way you used to be able to die cut was go to a scrapbook store and use their big die cutting machines. So my friends, I've already lost my flowers. Let's see. My flower and my leaves that was in the die. Here it is. It's stuck to my stamp case. So here's our... I reuse this, by the way, so I just stick it at the top of my die cutting machine, and then I'll use it again. Okay, so there's that for the flower. So there it is, die cut. Now in this card, and I'll show you the card in a moment, I wanted to... It was way too busy to use more colors, so I stuck basically with these three colors. So Flirty Flamingo and Lemon Lolly and Teal, and then my little stamen and the Cajun Craze. So this, we're just going to, I know that I'm going to cover all this with the flower, so I'm just going to lay down a little bit of adhesive here. If I could find my adhesive. Here it goes. I'm going to just actually just kind of, whoops, do this across the middle of my card. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to move this over just a touch. I kind of want it to go off of my card, or off of this layer. Okay, then I'm going to do my flowers, my yellow flowers next, and I am going to pop these up with dimensionals. So I'm going to pick just a couple here. And then mini dimensionals are always good to have. Look how sophisticated we've gotten. We can't have just regular dimensionals. We have to have mini dimensionals as well. But they do fit well in small places like this, so that you don't have to cut up your dimensionals and take extra time doing that. So I'm going to just lay these down here a little bit. Okay, now let's put our flower together. I'm going to just put some adhesive at the bottom of this flower, And then I'm just going to stick on my little flower like this. So this is going to lay down here. Let's go ahead and put dimensionals here. And do it like so. And then we'll go ahead and do that with our flower. So there we have all our fancy die cutting, and it is beautiful for sure. But I also think the simple ones are beautiful too. In my eyes, they are. Sometimes they're even prettier. Let's go ahead and do the greeting. I'm going to stick with my Flirty Flamingo. Oh, I saw some hearts come across, so I'm seeing a few things on my iPad. I just can't see your comments. All right, let's go to this greeting is also in this stamp set. So all the stamps I've used are in this stamp set. Every thought of you makes me smile. So let me go ahead and I'm going to do our greeting, and then we will go ahead and pop this up on our card. Let's grab our dimensionals back. Now this one I just put across the bottom of the card. You just made a strip because there's a lot going on here. So I didn't use as many colors. I started to address that earlier. I didn't use as many colors for this because I thought it just got too busy. So whereas in this card, you know, we have a lot of colors. We're building interest in this card with the dies. And when I started to add more colors to it, it got super busy. I mean, well, we can see. So I have one of these here. I don't know, I guess that's not terrible. But in the end, I didn't do it. So, and I'm going to actually move this flower up just a little bit. You can move things if you're really careful and they haven't been sitting too long. I'm going to move this up a bit here. And then my greeting doesn't have to cover up much of my flower. Just the leaves. Like so. Okay, so there's that. And then again, I took those same color of sequins and I popped those in here. Used a couple of small ones up here and then a larger one down by the side. So there you have it, my friends. So there are 3 versions of the textured floral stamp set with our 3 versions of the card. So we've got the stamped ink and paper, simple one. Then we added more ink and a die cut. And then we added all the die cut. So we stamped and die cut everything here except for the layers. Does that make sense? So I'm going to see if I can get your comments pulled up here. See if I can find them on YouTube. Okay, so Kay loves them all. You love all 3. Kay, thank you. Maggie used to cut out, you were able to die cut at your teacher's die cut center. Yes, I know that. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. And Kathy, hi. Welcome, Kathy. I didn't see you come on because I'm not seeing too many comments today. And Pam says she lets her 8-year-old grandson do the inside of cards. He does a good job. Sometimes he gets a little wild, but I use them anyway because I like them. Of course, they're beautiful. Maggie, stamping helps you keep your sanity. I get that, totally get that. And Carol likes the cards. Thank you. Thanks, Pam. Thanks, everybody. So, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope, again, that you enjoyed this idea. Let me know if you like this idea of doing stamping paper a little bit stepped up, and then wow. So, wow, I would consider just a lot of die cutting and layers. So let me know what you like, and maybe a lot of you are like Kay and you like all 3, and that's wonderful too. But I would like to know, You're very welcome, Kate. Thanks, Carol. You're very welcome. Let me get myself pulled up here. Thank you for all the hearts. Thanks for the comments and all your positive comments. Last week I got a comment on YouTube that they didn't like that I said hi to everybody. So I tried to keep my train of thought a little better today. They said because I disrupted my train of thought and theirs. So I think there's, you know, a big discrepancy between people who do Facebook Live, like I do, to be social. I mean, it's social media, so it's Facebook Live, and people that do videos that they just tape and post to YouTube. Obviously, there's no chatting on those. They're just teaching how to make the card. But I like the social part of it, so I do like to see you. I like to say hi. So thanks for joining me and being social with me. And doing some creative things together. All right, everybody. I'll see you next week at 12:30 p.m. We're going to do some Christmas next week. We're going to do some Christmas in July still. It'll be the last week of July. All righty. Let me know if I can help you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.